Okay, here's another video about how I don't like my life to be invaded by computers. Okay, I used to like computers. I think that they are at heart, if you can put it that way, decent tools to use. What I don't like is having nonsense stuffed into my face via my own computer. If I press the Windows button on my computer now, I've got recommended things coming up. Or recommended. Because I presume, because I've looked at or used a specific file before. My computer is my business. Completely and utterly my business. I don't want creepy situations occurring on my computer whereby it's suggesting things to me. Alright? Get out of my face. When I go to my garage and I look around, I don't have some little urchin living in the garage going, "Ooh, would you like this? You used this before, maybe you want this." Get out of my face. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen the film I, Robot, okay? I feel, and I'm not alone, like the character in that film played by Will Smith. Okay? And that book's based upon, I believe, that film's based upon a book by Isaac Asimov. I think it's Do Robots Have Electric Dreams or something like that. But the point is that in that film, there are all these robots running around just doing things for people, right? Presuming, oh, would you like this? Would you like that? I tell you what, if such a circumstance ever happened, I would make it my business to get rid of every single robot. Because I don't want my life invaded by other people's decision making. I don't want decisions proposed to me. I don't want that. It's not human. That's a massive overreach. But what I have in my computer is exactly that. Some moron has designed put a little bit of code in which produces suggestions based upon what I've done in the past. I don't want that kind of analysis applied to me. Who would want that? Would you want someone walking around behind you every day, writing down all the decisions you made and then trying to predict your behaviour? What a disgusting idea. And that's what's happening on our computers. Because these morons in these software companies just think they can get away with it. Oh, we'll just do it. Oh, doesn't matter. We'll just do what we want. Humanity, it doesn't matter. And it does matter. All right, we are headed for a big conflict in this regard. This may sound silly, right? We've got films like The Terminator, right? Wherein Skynet, an artificial intelligence entity, becomes self-aware and attacks humanity, right? Oh, you think it's far-fetched? I don't really think it's that far-fetched. I truly don't. You've got films like The Matrix. Same deal. It's exactly the same premise. Alright? We are concerned as human beings with this notion of artificial intelligence. The idea of decisions being made for us. I think that is a very, very dangerous thing. We have to make decisions as human beings for ourselves. And creeping into my computer are little developer morons who are trying to... It's not malice, but it's just moronism. Okay? Let's call it moronism. It's not thinking. It's just going, okay, we can do this, so we shall. And that's got to stop. That kind of mentality. Alright? This is why we have manners. Okay? I don't... If my neighbour's front door is open, I don't just walk into his house, sit on his couch, watch his television, take a beer from the fridge, because I can. That's bad manners. He would come home and say, "What the hell are you doing in my house?" We don't do these things, but because you can do it on computer, all of a sudden people think, "Oh, it's okay. Let's just do it. Doesn't matter. No one can stop me." And so all of our computers are now unilaterally invaded by Microsoft or probably Apple or whoever else it is, right? And these big, monstrous, mammoth companies, we say big. How can you actually determine the size of something? All it is it's a something. Whether it's big or small really doesn't matter. But these companies, you can't get through to anyone, and you can't stop them doing what they're doing. The only thing that could stop them doing anything is a government. But these companies are now operating internationally, and getting the government of any country to do anything now is equally virtually impossible. The way I see things now, it's a disaster. We're operating with this kind of fake, unilateral, weird government that's worldwide, that doesn't really exist, but that kind of does. That's pushing certain agendae, and we're just watching it happen. And I think that's wrong. We each have our own countries, and our countries are being undermined by international organisations which just think they can do what they want. Oh, World Health Organization, well, we're in charge now. What are you talking about? World Health, what are you talking about? Who put you in charge of every country on the planet? Nobody is who. So, we need to get control of our countries back, and we need to have strong leadership in our countries to stop this kind of nonsense. Because at the moment, these companies have superseded governments actually in their reach. So the governments we had in the past are sort of sitting there going, oh, how do we cope with this? So we need decent leadership now. We need to get involved in politics. Oh, I don't want to do it. Well, I'm sorry, you've got to. We all have to. We all have a responsibility, and then we can stop this kind of nonsense. Now, years ago, there was a TV show on British television. I think it was called Points of View, something like that. And it was, people. I think it was expressing their opinions about stuff that the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, was doing. And you don't see that now. There's no feedback. There's no dialogue. Nothing. And that's got to stop. And it can be recovered, it can be retrieved. I don't think it's the first time that entities, governmental or whatever, have gotten out of hand. They just have to be brought to heel again. Because they can. Once in a while, they get out of control, and then you have to curtail their behaviour. But, at the moment, my computer now feels as though it's been invaded. And it's being used to observe me. I don't want that, and I don't want anyone else to feel that. I think it's very, very rude for anyone to set up a system that tries to predict what I might want on my own computer. And that's the bottom line. I can complain about bigger issues, but the bottom line is I don't want people writing software that invades my personal life, which is exactly what's happening with Microsoft Windows. I don't use Apple. I presume similar things are happening there. And most people just go, oh, that's interesting. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It matters, because eventually it's going to bite you on the rear end. And you'll be wondering, hang on a minute, where's my independence gone? Where's my privacy gone? Where's my freedom gone? And it's because you didn't prick up your ears and say, hang on, something's not right about this. Something's not right about this. I've got to change it. I've got to get involved. Because if you don't get involved, the problem will get bigger and bigger and bigger. So, get involved, have your say, start to notice these things. And, I mean, look, you don't have to start some massive movement. All you have to do is be aware and try to find ways of rejecting this stuff. Because it can just be rejected. It can be, pushed away. But somehow we need to develop a way of communicating this to Microsoft. Because Microsoft's not listening at the moment. They're just not listening. They're not interested in listening. Why should they listen? Everyone's dependent upon them. Why the heck would they listen to a customer? So they've stopped. They had a department that was listening to the customer department. They're listening to the customer department, and they closed it. They don't listen to the customer. They're not interested. They're not interested. They think the product's fine. Pfft, to hell with the customer. And so they're just ignoring any customer complaint. The customer says, hang on, you're invading my privacy. You're invading my computer. And they say, they just ignore it. And that's the problem. That's the problem. So how does that get solved? Well, you could say use Linux or Linux. I tried Linux. I didn't like it. I've tried a couple of different iterations of it, and it's soulless. Is that how computing should be? Is that how computing was? No. Microsoft was never like that. Microsoft was usable. It was a fun thing you could use. It did what you wanted. Now it's morphed and mutated into an evil thing, frankly. But then Linux, it doesn't seem nice either. And some of the Linux releases, you try and download Ubuntu, right? And you get all this symbology on the screen right off the bat. All this sort of occult symbolism all over it. What? Who made that decision? Is that to try and put people off? It's all this yuck around everywhere. All these political agendae everywhere. Oh, you want to use this product as a competitor? Oh, well, you've got to be faced with a load of stuff that you don't really have any interest in seeing and has no business being there. Because I think, honestly, there is a larger agenda afoot worldwide, and the people who are trying to control humanity, right, are well aware of the power they have. And if there's a competitor product to the ones that they've got on board, with which are produced by their own people, then they're like, okay, well, we have to somehow dirty that competitor product. And I would imagine that they somehow get their people involved in that competitor product. Oh, that's just a conspiracy theory. Get your head out of your backside. Do you really think that people don't involve themselves in secret organizations? That's how, a lot of things happen in the world, behind closed doors. Don't pretend it doesn't happen. It's just stupidity. Just observe what's happening, get involved. Somehow, some way, do your bit, because it's essentially a fight. The control versus freedom. There's always a fight going on. If you don't get involved, then you're responsible for the outcome if you lose your freedoms. If you stay involved, if you get involved, if you do your part, then we have a chance to actually maintaining our freedoms. It's that simple. It's never going away. Those guys would like to have you just blithely continuing your life and not getting involved, and then eventually you would think one day, hang on, where's all my freedom gone? Yeah, where's my independence? Where's my privacy? And it went because you were just busy doing other things. You are responsible. Everyone's responsible. We all have to carry a bit of weight regarding keeping our freedoms from this potential for control. Because that gets out of hand, then you've lost all your freedoms. Then you've got to fight for them physically eventually. So it's you're better off getting involved, keeping your freedom alive, shall we say. Do it as an exercise. Keep your eyes peeled, because stuff's going on around you all the time. Don't pretend it isn't. That's ridiculous. But, do your bit. Share your ideas. Understand that it is going on, and that you can fight back against it. That's all. Just do your part. We're all part of this humanity together. Whether you are involved in secret society stuff or whatever the hell, we're all human beings. We all have a responsibility to get involved in this interplay and actually do our bit. So that's it, really. I don't like my computer being invaded by the people who are designing software, and we need to fight back against this kind of thing. I'm not suggesting Terminators are going to be walking down the street tomorrow. But who knows? AI this, AI that. Dodgy stuff.